Hey, hey, Cancer. Intuitive Soul Coach here with your December 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Cancer. Some of you have been doing some deep reflection, deep soul searching. All right. And it could be due to a massive change or transformation that you're going through. You start off with the Death card. That's big. This is the calling, the awakening, searching for meaning, discovery, life path, because some of you are ready to embark upon a new journey. I am getting that here because you have the new life. And this reminds me of the Fool. So it wouldn't surprise me to see some choices. We could see some choice cards coming out that lead to a new path, a new beginning. I'm also getting High Priestess here with the intuition. And this is all about you trusting your nudges, you trusting your intuitive downloads. And a lot of you have been called to create change or be the change that you wish to see in your world. And there's the Tower. So there is the path here of a brand new beginning, because that's what the Tower does, is it brings in a new beginning. It's a surprise. It can be a wake-up call. It can be a destruction of old structures, because some old structure that you were living in, right? Some old structure that you had in your career or the ways that you were doing your health or relationships, something has come or is about to come to an end. And there's massive growth, massive transformation coming out of this. And I see the Tower bringing about great change towards your stability. You have the King of Pentacles showing up here. And the King of Pentacles is big boss energy. It is about discipline and not being afraid to work your way towards what it is that you truly want and desire in the material world. Now, bottom of the deck, you have the Witch card. The Witch is the 25th major arcana of this deck. Now, there's only 21 major arcanas, but the author and illustrator created some bonus cards. And you have the Witch, which is all about trusting in your skills, Cancer, trusting in your abilities. It is crucial to believe in those abilities and to stay true to your own calling, to stay true to your intuition at this time, because the Witch is represented by Dorothy, and she has what she needs within her, right? The whole time. But she needs to go through that journey of self-discovery and transformation in order to remember who she truly is. It's when she taps those ruby red slippers at the end of the movie or the end of the book, right? That she's really able to wake up. So you're going through a spiritual awakening is what I'm getting here for you. But you're protected. Look at that bubble of protection. It's like Glinda coming in with that big pink bubble. And I feel like you are magical. You are transformative. And it's so interesting because you have the Death card, which talks about transformation here, the Wicked Witch of the West. And I see here that there's a part of your world that is changing instrumentally. Some of you could be moving, you could be retiring, you could be divorcing, right? You could have gone through a health scare, but you're coming back here and you're coming back stronger than ever is what I'm picking up for you. Now, because you have the intuition card, you've been receiving a lot of downloads, a lot of messages. Some of you have even second guessed your intuition and you've asked, is this the right path? Should I do this now? Is the timing right? But Cancer, you're one of the most intuitive signs that there is. And you know now not to question your intuition. Yes, sometimes it takes a little while to act on it, right? To trust that the time is right. But when your intuition is striking, it's hot. And I feel like that iron is hot this month. And you're getting ready to prepare yourself for the new life, Okay. The new life is, again, transformation. So we're getting a lot of that energy coming through. Big changes, rebirth, fresh starts, growth. You're heading towards a new journey. Excuse me, a new journey. And this could be a journey with another individual. It could be a journey in your career. We're going to look at all areas here. We'll look at career, wealth, and money. We'll also look at relationships, family, and love unions. We're just getting all the cards out here for you. Now, I do see at the bottom of the deck, Cancer, you have choices. So this could be decision time. There could be choices that feel like they're out of your control, but when you surrender and remember that everything that is happening is for your highest good, and you allow yourself to not resist change, that is a game changer in itself. So there are some changes happening here. Try not to hold on to what must die. That's kind of the message I'm getting here. Don't hang on to what must die. Remember that you are skilled, that you are talented, that you have another soul contract that you are meant to fulfill. And I feel like you absolutely are on your path. This is the right path for you. All right, soul purpose is your first card out. This is the call. And I feel like ring, 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 it's here. It's time for you to pick up, because if you don't, that call is coming in, getting louder and louder and louder. And if we don't answer, that's when something comes in and breaks down that door and says, it's time, right? You're coming with us. And I feel like it's important for you to heed the call and trust the process as you move forward, because this is about direction. And I feel like you've been planning. You have been planning for this shift or this move. You've known intuitively that something is working behind the scenes. And I feel like you're in touch with this. Why? Because you have the intuition card, but because you also have the King of Pentacles. So it does require your sense of stability, your sense of self. And there's a heightened sense of awareness around you. There may have even been the loss of a loved one. There may have been the loss of a job or a relationship that you finally see something from a different angle now. You're finally able to come out of it. For some of you, you're entering into it, the transformation. For others of you, you're ready to spread your wings and open up to a brand new beginning. Because again, endings are bringing in magical new beginnings here for you. And I say that because you have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is the wizard's accolades. This is wishes and dreams. This is a really beautiful energy of feeling content, feeling good, feeling emotionally fulfilled, because there's something here that is changing and shifting. And even though it may stir up your foundation, it is bringing you peace, because that's what the Death card is. The Death is transformation. And sometimes it doesn't feel like there's peace when you're going through it, right? It can feel very destructive, very chaotic, very uncertain. But I do see that once this dust settles, in a sense, you're getting to a place where there is a lot more peace in your garden, right? In your garden. Seven of Pentacles is represented by Aunt M's garden. And I feel like the fruits of your labor are paying off. Has something to do with an investment of your time, investment of your money, of your abundance. Perhaps you're purchasing a home. You could be leaving the state, leaving the country. Some of you are traveling this month as well. You could be traveling to greener grasses. There is a new journey here for you without a doubt. But I see choices. So it almost feels like the choice in itself has to do with change. Do I resist this change? Because if I do, it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder. I'm going to stay intertwined in it for longer than necessary, or I can surrender and trust the process, go with the flow. And that's what I see you potentially choosing with that King of Pentacles here. because the Tower says that there's some action coming in. Now, you could be the Tower. You could be destroying some old structures. If you are not happy with an area of your life, the Tower is us being that change that we wish to see in the world. Now, of course, sometimes things are outside of our control. Like what? Like death. Death is outside of our control. The downsize of a company, natural disasters, things of that nature are out of our control. But how you are responding is saying, okay, this is part of my path, but I'm going to be okay. And I feel like that's where you are at now. You're at the point where I'm trusting that there's something greater coming out of this, and there absolutely is. Because right behind it, look at, we have adventure and we have gifts. So this could fully manifest by your birthday. Even though there's a new beginning starting now, I feel like you could be living in an exciting time, right? Exciting times ahead. New opportunities, a spiritual quest, world travel, or excursions. Some of you, this new beginning has to do with you opening up your spiritual gifts more and having gratitude, having that abundant mindset, because there is a surprise coming in. And oftentimes the Tower does bring in a surprise, right? But it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, okay? So some of you, don't catastrophize. Don't wait for that other shoe to drop and keep expecting bad things to happen, because you're just as worthy of the good. And that's the balance of life, right? The highs and the lows, the low tide and the high tide. And I feel like you have this gift of awareness now that you may not have had as much in the past. And there's a big celebration coming in for you. A big celebration. So get ready. Exciting times ahead, Cancer. And I feel around your birthday, there could be travel around your birthday. Of course, I feel like there's something coming in before your birthday, but I feel like this could be the second travel or a second adventure, a second wind. Yeah, it's like a second wind, getting a second wind for life. Maybe there's love coming in. It feels very good. It feels very heightened, but a choice needs to be made now. Okay, because that choice is what's going to turn out for you long term. All right, let's dive into the tarot. We have the Death card, Scorpio's energy of transformation. This is transitioning, change. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. So taking a look at things that are out of our control and working with the energies, which comes down to one thing: trust. Trusting the process. And that is so difficult when we hang on, right? We hang on because we don't want that tower to crumble. We hang on to what must be released. There's something here that you've been hanging on to that you're finally coming to some sort of awareness, awakening, or senses, right? Coming to one's senses around what this is. And you're saying, I'm letting this go. I am no longer the same Cancer that I was, 5 months ago, 5 years ago. And I feel like because you have been reinitiated in a sense, you're getting closer and closer to this 9 of Cups if it isn't here yet. Okay, so maybe the last 9 months have been a transition nightmare for you at times, but it feels like the 9 here is the wizard's accolades of completion, right? 9s are about completion, but it's also about you changing any situations in life where you are dissatisfied or restless, because he does have accolades. He does have the things that fulfill him on a personal, financial, professional, all different levels, but it's emotional and intuitive. So this is emotional fulfillment. It's not those external things, although he has those. There's something deep within himself. What is it? It's that he's listened to his intuition. He's listened to his path, his journey, and he's come so far. And I feel like you're saying, all right, universe, what's next? And that's why we have the 7 of Pentacles here, because oftentimes the 7 of Pentacles is waiting for something to grow, and it's reflection time. So I see you doing a lot of reflection. But now it's like the time has come where Spirit is saying, don't give up. Don't give up when you're so close to the accolade, so close to emotional fulfillment here. Yes, the path has shifted a bit for you, because we may have thought we were going in one direction, but something has pivoted here for you. And the 7 is all about patience and rewards. It's about assessing a return on your investment. And wherever you were not getting a return on investment, right, an ROI, I feel like that's what's ended. You're saying, I was putting energy into that, but it wasn't paying out. And that's why you're pivoting. But it's not putting you behind. It's not putting you in a place of less than. I feel like it's actually catapulting you into what it is that you truly want. And that may have been the factor, that may have been the indecision, or what's caused delay is sitting in that back and forth energy. Like, should I or shouldn't I? Now we have the Knight of Wands coming in, represented by the Jack the Pumpkinhead, right? And the Knight of Wands is fun. He is enthusiastic, he's adventurous, he's spontaneous, he's a risk taker, right? He takes some bold action. I mean, you gotta when he's running around with a pumpkin on his head. And I feel like there's something about fall time. So perhaps this last autumn for you, depending on your location, this could be when you've really received a lot of intuitive downloads, because this Knight of Wands is also about inspiration and spiritual force. That's what the wands represent. So I feel like you were guided to loosen the bonds of something that you were attached to. And it may be that December, you're finally freeing up from it. You're finally feeling like you're ready to head towards an exciting new adventure because you're curious. Your curiosities are pointing you in that direction, and your curiosities are your intuition. It's right here. So whatever you're curious about, that is your intuition saying, we're pushing you to nudge in that direction, Cancer. You got this. Believe in yourself. But stay in that mindset of fun. Like, have fun. Don't take life so seriously, because we do so often. We take life so seriously. It reminds me of that song. I'm in a hurry to get somewhere. I forget the rush until life's no fun, right? So it almost feels like you've been rushing. And where's the fun, right? Where's the fun in life? And this Pumpkinhead says, wait a second, I'm not going to live my life rush until life's no fun. There's something spontaneous here. There's some sort of action where some people may say, Cancer, that's impulsive, or Cancer, that's crazy. What are you thinking? And you're like, wait, what am I thinking? I'm thinking that this is my soul's calling. I'm thinking that this is going to fulfill me emotionally. So what anybody else thinks is none of your business, Cancer, right? It's none of your business. If they think it's crazy, or if they think it's, a harebrained idea, or if you're going to pick up and move across the continent, whatever it may be, if this is your soul's calling, this is dedicated to your soul. No one else has to understand it. And I feel like you've really done some reevaluating, and your ROI isn't being paid back here. And that's what you're putting to an end. Now we have the tornado. It is going to require an up leveling. Okay. The tower is an up leveling. This is sudden changes. It is a surprise. Some of you are surprising others. That's kind of what I feel here. You're saying, surprise, I'm moving to Brooklyn, right? Or I'm moving out of Brooklyn. I don't know why Brooklyn's coming in. Maybe someone's name is Brooke. Maybe someone's moving to a brook or a bubbly area of water. So take that as it resonates. But the tower, it almost feels like someone's leaving Kansas in a sense, right? It's like I'm getting out of the black and white mundane, and I'm moving to London, or I'm moving to the Caribbean, wherever it is, or whatever it is that is calling you in your travel, your health, your love, your career, any area that you, again, were dissatisfied in because you were not getting a return of premium back, a return of your interest. It just feels like something stopped dead in its tracks is kind of what I feel for some of you. And there could even be an inheritance, something with an inheritance money or money coming in from a death that allows you to live a little more freely than before. I feel like this is a tower initiated by you. And when we have that effect, I almost feel like the outcome, or, we look back on it and we say, wow, I did that. I was empowered to be the change. Therefore, my life is completely different than it was a year ago or 5 years ago. Because why? Because you remember who you are with the witch card, right? You're remembering your power. You're remembering that you are protected, that you have skills and talents and abilities, that you don't need external approval to go anywhere in life. You have these accolades here. You have them with the 9 of Cups. So you have received some external validation, but this cup energy is emotional, it's intuitive, it's spiritual. So this is fulfillment on a deeper level than what anyone or anything external could ever give you. And that's what I see here with the Tower, because this is going to change your belief system to the core. This is going to change the structures of your foundation to the core. And where is it heading? King of Pentacles. Beautiful. King of Pentacles, reliability. This is abundance, it's wealth, it's discipline, it's respect, it's maturity. It is someone who wants to work smarter, not harder. They want to have their cake and they want to eat it too, but they can because they've worked hard to get to that point in their lives. And for some of you, you could be real estate brokers, business investors, property experts, financial advisors. You could work in sales. You could be entrepreneurs even. Sometimes this can be more business savvy, more traditional, but I feel like that could be what you're breaking out of. It's like you're breaking out of the mold, because you can see that he's held down. This King of Pentacles is the Gnome King, and his feet are made of stone. He has rocks. So it feels like he was stuck in place for quite some time, but now you have some sort of accolades or intuitive guidance or something that you may have saved up for or built up for that allows you to pivot or course correct in a sense, if, again, you are dissatisfied in any area of your life. Let's look at health. Let's look at health. Now, of course, see the disclaimer, please, in the description box below. Now, I feel like you are paying attention to your body. There's something here about paying attention to your body. Some of you, vision, maybe your eyesight. You may have a vision appointment or an eyeglass appointment here. Maybe some of you had cataracts or you had migraines. I am getting here a little bit of pressure to the third eye, or the pressure points on the side of your eyes, your temple area. For others of you, I feel like there was something with the brain, like brain fog or memory loss, or you just felt at times like you were unsure of the next step. But I feel like that is wavering, or that is clearing out for you. That is coming to an end. So for those of you that have been walking in uncertainty, I feel like there's a new path coming in, and I feel like this is your choice. There's a new choice here, and I feel like you're going to say yes to this opportunity. The opportunity is exciting. It is an opportunity to put yourself out there in the world in some way. Now, what else do we have for health? Some of you, you're making a complete comeback. Okay, there's something that is finally ended in your body. So maybe you had a viral infection. Maybe there was some sort of bacteria. Whatever this was for you, I feel like it's ended, or it's no longer present, right? It's no longer present or active in the body with the Death card here. Now the Death energy is Scorpio, so something with water here as well, staying hydrated. I'm also getting high temps. Some of you may have had a high temperature, or perhaps you ran hot, but I feel like there's a rebalancing going on with health. Now, of course, the tornado can be a sudden onset of something, but I feel like it comes in and exits just as fast. So again, it could be temperatures that raise quite quickly, or it could be, a viral or bacterial, something that shows up. But then I feel with the Death card, it's like it leaves just as quick as it came. All right. What else do we have for health here? For health, I'm just going to look here. Health. All right. Some of you are getting back to a place mentally where you feel more safe and secure. Now, because I'm seeing the King of Pentacles and there is a big focus on the root chakra, you see that some of the rocks that he is built upon are very big. So maybe this has to do with the root region of the body. So your knees, your ankles, your hips, your feet, your toes. If you had a little bit of inflammation, or if you had, I'm getting gout, okay? Hopefully not, but some of you may have had gout. I think that's in the feet area. Or maybe even athlete's foot, or maybe some sort of weird fungus with the toes, right? I mean, there's something here possibly with skin or the skin rash. Okay, there could have been a rash here. But again, I feel like the Nine of Cups says we're working through these things. It feels like we're able to make some choices that are going to heal, and they will lead to a new path ahead. All right. So let's take a look here at money, abundance, career, finances. Your first card out here is spirituality. Of course it is. Cancer, you are highly intuitive and you have the intuition showing up. So it says use money magic spells to increase wealth and prosperity. What does that mean? Words. Words are spells, right? That's why it's called spelling, because our words can manifest, right? What we tell ourselves becomes the voice of our belief. So it's important to be mindful of how you speak to yourself, how you speak about money, how you speak about your career, your skills. So that's what that means here, is communication and listening to what you're putting out into the world. You could be a spiritual advisor, a healer, a tarot reader, or anything in the occult or mystic realm. And I am getting a lot of Scorpio energy here, which Scorpio is your fellow water sign. But Cancer, some of you could have some Scorpio placements, or maybe last Scorpio season was a big one. Maybe you really opened up to some spiritual gifts. Maybe you were attuned to Reiki, or you are a health and wellness healer of some sort. You are being guided to discover your unique spiritual path right now. That's why you have soul purpose, because this is the path, right? It says life path, and you're using your spirituality, right? And your intuition. This could be meditation. It could be divination, oracle, tarot. This could be your heightened sense of awareness, because you are receiving a lot of information and messages that are telling you to end something, put an end to this old life, put an end to whatever is dissatisfying here, so you can embark upon an adventurous, exciting, new intuitive journey. And that's what the spiritual card is reminding you. Now, there may be something unexpected. Of course, we have the Tower, so we're going to explore this. Prepare for the unexpected, for unexpected financial loss. There could be some sort of loss, but I feel through healthy choices. Okay, now, yes, some of it could be unexpected. For others of you, I feel like this has to do with being mindful of your spending. Now, people can get carried away around the holiday season. For those of you that celebrate the holidays, this is about spending within your means, spending within your budget, spending within your limits. Now, for others of you, there's something with a vehicle. Okay, this could be a tire. I'm getting Goodyear tires. Some of you maybe there's some Goodyear tires that you're putting on, or Michelin tires, but I feel like a headlight, or maybe there's a small fender bender, but you're going to be okay if that does show up here. Okay, there could be something. Now, it's not to instill fear, but to expect the unexpected. It says this financial crisis may be out of your control, but you can still control the outcome. Exactly. Because it almost feels like you're going to land on your feet. You're going to land on top here with the King of Pentacles, even though this Tower may show up. Okay, I'm also getting something with the home. So I don't know if this is a pipe bursting, or if you live in an area, maybe something freezes here, or just there's something unexpected, but I do feel like you're going to deal with things, and it makes sense. Mercury's in retrograde for a big chunk of the month, and I feel like you're going to prepare, but you'll be able to deal with things as they come. So this isn't for you to get hyper focused on the negative. That's not at all what this is about. It's about you trusting your intuition and knowing that you're going to have choices to make. You're not going to be stuck, and you will land on top. Okay, that's the King of Pentacles is on top of his game, and that's your final outcome. So perhaps this Tower is something out of your control, but it does say that you can still control the outcome. Okay, next we have Helper, and we see the masks there. So perhaps some of you are getting some sort of routine blood work done, or you could be in the medical field. You could be a helper. You could assist others, Cancer. Perhaps you're a sales rep, a cashier. You work in a call center or any other field where you are able to assist. Okay. I'm also getting someone wrapping presents. Maybe you're wrapping presents as you're listening to this video. But I also feel like you are helping someone else. Maybe something shows up that's out of your control. Maybe someone comes to you and says, hey, Cancer, I know you've dealt with this before, right? I know you've dealt with this insurance claim or a fraud or some sort of discrepancy. I feel like someone may come to you for advice, and you stop and evaluate for a second, but you actually very much are intuitively guided to help someone through maybe a Tower moment. That's what could happen for some of you. Make sure your goals are yours and not someone else's. Okay, because you could be the helper, you could be the one being helped. And then lastly here, we have take action. Whatever your question is, this is telling you to go for it. This is telling you that, it's important not to procrastinate or wait to take that next step. Just go ahead and do it. And that's what the Knight of Wands reminds you. I don't feel like this is impulsive action, because we see the King of Pentacles here. It's something your intuition has been nudging you to be curious about for quite some time. So now that there's an opportunity arising for you, I feel like it's going to require you to go through, some endings. But there's a wish manifesting here. Nothing will change if you don't take action. Don't let opportunities pass you by. You're not going to. That's the choice. You're going to be the change that you wish to see in the world. So I feel like if this Tower is coming in, it's coming in for your highest good, and it could be you coming in being that change. So when it comes to career, there could be an ending followed by a really happy opportunity to embrace something that feels more exciting, more intuitive, more passionate. But there may be a level of uncertainty, a level of unknown, like what now? But that's where we don't rear up into fear, right? It's like a bucking bronco, right? We start to buck up against the change, the status quo, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But Spirit is saying, hold your horses, quite literally here with the bucking bronco, right? Hold the horses, because we got something that maybe you can't see yet, but where it's leading you is the King of Pentacles. This is something stronger, something more stable, something more secure, more abundant than whatever it is that you're releasing and letting go of. All right. New opportunity for career ahead is what I see for a lot of you. Trust your intuition. Allow this call to wake you up and say yes to it. Don't buck up against the change. Let's take a look here at love, family, relationships, platonic, friendships, parents. Some of you could be married. I do see the wedding rings here. Okay, if you're married, some of you may have dealt with a loss in the family, or someone could have lost a job, or someone's gone through a health issue. It just feels like there's some sort of transformation that's taken place. I feel outside of the marriage, but I mean, it could certainly be in it as well. Some of you could be going through. I feel like this change is actually for the better. Why? Because again, the Nine of Cups is here with the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So this is curiosity. This is reuniting an energy here. There's a soul connection that you're with someone currently. For those of you that are married, I feel like there is a partner here that you've gone through hardship with. You've gone through a lot. You've gone through death. You've gone through endings. You've gone through successes and highs. But you've really questioned your dynamics. You've questioned your relationship. Is this my person? Are we meant to be together forever? And I feel like there is something shifting here. And what could be shifting is you're adding a little spontaneity. Maybe you're incorporating date nights back into your life. Maybe you're getting married again. Maybe there's a renewal of vows. But I feel like this is a long-standing connection for those of you that may be happily or at least in a commitment where you don't want to leave, right? But there's things externally that have really come up against this relationship. I feel like you have what it takes to withstand the test of time. Now, for those of you that are going through a rocky time right now, I feel like you could have a choice to make, and this choice is going to lead to a new life. And it could be that there's going to be upheaval, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's going to be some sort of upheaval, but it is going to lead you to a more fulfilling future, spiritually and emotionally. All right, because we have devotion here. We have everlasting love. So if that's not what you have, I feel like that's where you're going. Now, for those of you where it's been on again, off again, or it's been real rocky and you've really wanted to exit, but there's a sense of codependency, maybe unhealthy patterns or habits, there's going to be some sort of revelation. You have the sword and the rose. This is honoring and protecting your own integrity, your own growth, and your spiritual path. And I see you determined to move forward, even if that means honoring yourself and the other person by exiting a contract. And then we have self-indulgence. This is self-worth. A lot of you who are single, you've needed that time to heal. You needed that time to work on the shadows, work on some wounds, to really appreciate you and appreciate what you bring to the table, and also work on some of the dynamics that we want to grow from, right? The parts of ourselves that we don't love, right? But we love ourselves enough to work on them, to take accountability, to take responsibility towards. And I feel like you now know your self-worth and your value, and you will never settle for less than you deserve. Some of you were used, you were charmed, you were allured. I'm getting catfished as well. Some of you were catfished. Okay, or there was someone that was wearing a mask. Maybe your intuition alerted you that someone was shady, and maybe it didn't get that far because you already knew. But I feel like there was a lesson here in boundaries, a lesson in intuition. And then lastly, we have cutting ties. So some of you are cutting ties. You have cut ties. You've moved on. This is receiving what you've needed in this soul contract. You've progressed, and I feel like you've arrived at a new chapter of your life story, right? There's something new coming in here, and it is quite profound. All right, so when it comes to relationships, you've gone through death, you've gone through some endings. I see that here. But I feel like there's something of your future that's just beginning. There's a part of you that is spiritually awakened for the first time in your life. So that means that there's a relationship coming in, and not saying that you haven't been spiritually awakened before, but not to this level, not to this degree, not to this emotional intelligence that I see coming in here for you, because you're ready. You've been doing the work on yourself. And I feel like you're never going to let someone use you, harm you, cross a boundary. There's a lesson that was massive that you had to learn by going through this transformation, Cancer. And you're to a place now where you're going to attract people who respect you. They can meet you at your level. And that's beautiful. That's ultimately what we want, right? So let's take a few messages from the soul's truth. To whom am I comparing myself right now? This is something I've noticed more so in the last couple of months, especially Scorpio season, where a lot of people got into that comparison trap. Started to compare our lives based on what we see on social media, or comparing where we thought we would be at a certain age. Some of you are 39. I'm getting 39. I'm seeing it on the clock here. But I feel like you're saying, I thought I would be in a different spot in my life. right? Or why does the sister have that? Or why does the ex have that? Or why do they have that? And I feel like it's important to not get caught in that comparison trap, because what you are able to see, Cancer, in another is only visible because it is within you, right? Ready to be brought out. Shine light on this feeling of not enough and see the truth. And the truth is that all that you need and want is within you. And you are shining light on that, because that's that 9 of Cups. Today's soul action. Today, stop comparing and start creating. You are creating. You're creating a new life here. And this looks delicious. And then lastly, you have, where can I create more space? Instead of filling yourself up with busy work, right? Rush until life's no fun. Create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, in your mind, your lungs, and in your heart. Take time to just be. Some of you are dealing with a hoarder, okay? Something with hoarding. I mean, that can be a big dis-ease, right? For those of you that may have dealt with someone who hangs on to everything physically. It could even be in the mind, mentally hoarding old things that need to be released with the Death card. It says, do a clutter detox of your schedule, your home, and your innermost self. Make space. Clarity will come. Yes, it will. That's why you have the intuition at the bottom, because you're getting clear about a path. And I feel like there is a new exciting journey ahead for you. Now, the way there is through the underworld. Your archetype is the underworld. And I absolutely love this deck. I don't use it too often, but when I do, it packs a punch. And the underworld is all about the nightmare, the ordeal, the bottom. This is no time to mince words. The archetypal territory of the underworld is fraught with nightmares, suffering, and pain. It is the darkest shadow realm, which we try vigilantly to avoid or deny at any cost. Try as we might, the darkness pulls us into its depths through disturbing dream images, unexpected accidents, illness, war, conflict, and ultimately death. Not visiting the underworld or denying its existence altogether is what gives it dangerous power. Traversing it forces us to bow humbly to the greater forces that be, while summoning the inner strength we previously underestimated. Take solace that the underworld subsumes everyone from time to time, making us deeper friends, more intimate partners, soldiers of light amid our shadowy times. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound calling of all. Whew, I have goosebumps, you guys. That's the Death card. That is the call. Both of these energies are bringing up a huge spiritual transformation and awakening. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound calling of all. And a lot of you, I see that you're light workers. With the spirituality card, the helper, the intuition, you're here to help raise the vibration of the planet. You're here to help assist and guide others in a very profound way. When this is showing up as the light aspect, okay, thank you, Spirit. They're giving me like 911 operator. So some of you could work in EMT or work in emergency services or the emergency room in some way. This is bravery. It's depth. It's facing our deepest fears. When it's in the dark aspect, it's denial, suppression, evil, and unconsciousness. Search for images of a map of Dante's Inferno. What does the story of epic descent stir in you? So if you've heard of Dante's Inferno, look that up, search for images, and what does that make you feel? Does it make you feel scared? Does it make you feel seen? Does it make you feel, what feelings does that bring up? I would love for that to be your soul work assignment. And drop it in the comment section below. If you have a minute right now, I want you to Google or go on your chat GPT or wherever, search for images of a map of Dante's Inferno. and drop it in the comment section below. I'll enter you, Cancer, into that free reading giveaway. If I've said Gemini in your reading at all, I apologize. Some of you could be Gemini cuspers, but I am getting some Gemini vibes here. But hopefully I haven't called you that, because I know this is a Cancer reading. It says one of the earliest stories on record is that of the goddess Inanna's descent. Turns out descending into the underworld is as old as time itself. So there is something here about, visiting this place from time to time, right? It's always been. And I feel like that's part of the experience here on earth, is to face our deepest fears, to really, remember our bravery, remember the depths. And for those that want to go even further, it says, read Meeting the Shadow, edited by Connie Zweig and Jeremiah Abrams. Okay, so again, this isn't to bring fear, and that's why I want you to look into Dante's Inferno and see what that instills, because some of you, that could be an intuitive hit. There's something here about an intuitive hit when it comes to looking at that. I'm going to do that myself as well, but you're going through a massive transformation, but trust that it is to get you up out of whatever dissatisfaction or restlessness that you've been going through. And even though it feels like things are shaking up in your world, they are going to shake up, absolutely, without a doubt, with that Tower. But I feel like you're going to land on your feet. The King of Pentacles says you will land on your feet, kind of like a cat with 9 lives, right? Trust your intuition along the way. That is what I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And do drop whatever feelings were evoked within you from that Dante's Inferno image. Lots of love, Cancer.